So we're going to kickstart with C500. I've got one position at current market price. Let me just confirm my entry price there. I've got one position which I entered at 44.84. And I'm looking forward to have a safe sell once we break and close below 44.75. And I'm looking to scale in below today's lows, around 44.60. I'm looking to scale in. So I'm just looking for something like this, for price to just continue pushing to the downside. But what I would love to see though would be an impulsive move here, and maybe get a retracement before we get another continuation to the downside. So just to look at this pattern from a higher time frame, if you look at H1, we've been anticipating this reversal. If you were with us the past few sessions, so we had an impulsive move here. We ran a fib. You can see there's a fib there. So we ran it from this high to this low. Price retrace, started rejecting here on the 38.2, but we did not get a follow through bearish candle. Price came all the way, tapped into 61.8 fib retracements, gave a nice close here. So from here, that's where you can now locate your pattern, drop to M15 after H1 closes. So what you want to locate is the highest high of that particular move, and you want to locate the order block, and you want to sell at the break of the order block or at the retest. So this played out. So looking at it today, I'm just looking forward for a continuation to the downside. So if you see this move which we got yesterday, if we zoom in a bit, you'll see that price didn't get to the TP1 area. So the TP1 area, I think it's almost in line with this zone or this zone. So let's just mark that area there. Okay, so price can potentially get to this area. That's our setup for today. So this would be a completion of this particular move to get at least to this area or maybe this area. But again, if we run a fib from this particular high to this low, you see that price just tapped into the 50, 38.2, and we are respecting the 13 EMA on H1. So now the only thing we're looking for is a pattern here. So we've got the highest high when price was pushing up here. This is the highest high. This is the order block, which brings 44.60 as a potential entry point for sales, right? Remember, this is my second scaling point. So once we get to this area, then we should actually most likely get a good sell. Early entries are right now at current market price as we anticipate the move to happen. And if we can break this minor structure as well, that's where I also expect to actually scale in into the current runner which I have. So I've got 44.75. If we get it close below that zone, scale in. If price pushes down again and breaks below 44.60, another scaling. So we might get another impulsive move intraday, a retracement, and a continuation. So if we do get that impulsive move, we'll still run another fib here so that we can still get this particular setup when it happens. So for now, I'll say that's my view. The only other thing which could happen is price can still push up and tap into the 200 EMA, just extending these highs between the 50 and 61.8% fib retracement. So that's what I would say, maybe a worst case scenario on the current view which I have. So for the runner, if it comes up here, I will consider closing it. Then I'll see if price actually respects the 200 EMA, then I can sell again and still scaling at these values which I stated. So that's my current view. H4, you see that price is actually being held by the 50 EMA. If we can break this 50 EMA, then we can see a good melt down right here. So the only thing holding price right now is here. So if we break this level, that's also where 44.60 is. So once we break and close below, I'm anticipating a good drop on C500. So that's it for C5. Going to C1, if you notice, also ran a fib on it yesterday. Price retraced, rejected here, order block. This is what I would call a failed pattern. So we actually were looking for a rejection here. So this was the highest high from this intraday move with higher highs, higher lows. Then this was the peak, and this was the order block. So price came, but we didn't get that close below really. So pattern didn't complete. This would, or if we were looking to trade this, we're actually going to be looking for something like this. So this failed and it didn't play out. So looking at it today, let's see. So it looks like we rejected the 13 EMA on the daily, meaning we can potentially still be bullish. We can potentially still be bullish on C1. But again, I would love to see how today's candle closes before I even consider trading it. But we'll see. Coming to the H4. Okay, what could happen here is price could respect this order block. That's the first thing. Price could respect these highs, which is also possible. So I just want to see how we are going to react here. If we actually show signs of rejecting here, if H1 gives us a nice reversal candle there, then maybe we can still consider a sell. The sell being short term for now. Why? Because we're trading above the 13 EMA. So we are trading a retracement to this impulsive move. Until we break and come below, this is still bullish. So if we do get a sell, it will be short term until price shows us that it actually wants to continue coming down. Then maybe we can execute on a long term sell. So that's my view for C1. Okay, C5. See, we got something there. I'm going to scale in one position on my current runner. So here we're just trading the plan. Whatever we've planned, that's what we're trading. The price decides to then retrace and come up here to take us out. So for now, we're trading the plan. Is price is coming down. We're just anticipating it to do this. So if we can get here, we're going to scale in again and hold. Okay, C300, you can see I marked it. I actually didn't trade it because I did not want to pay swap yesterday. If you notice, last night I was quiet at nights. I did not take any trades. I was not in the mood to donate swap to Deriv. So, but I just marked C3 right ahead. This price action here. Then when I saw them give this push, I was like, you know what? At this peak, this is my order block. So I want to see if they're going to break this. So I think when I marked it, price was somewhere at the top here. Then I didn't execute on it, but this was broken. So that was a good entry. And I also had a safe entry here. So if this was like a peak on H1, let's just go to H1. As you can see from H1, if this was going to be the peak, then this was the order block. So this was my safe sell. M15, this was the early entry with the pattern here. And this was the scaling point. Price trading below the 13 EMA, strong bearish bias. We could have sold again. If you notice on this one again, there was no retest of the broken order blocks. So this is just variations. Sometimes price will break and we wait for a retest and it won't come. Price will simply complete and will be left behind. Sometimes they will retest and they will tap us into the trade. So if you notice, I had also marked this area as a target. You see price just came and tapped into it. So this was going to be a very Sweet setup. Good risk to reward as well. So let's see how we are going to look at it today. Okay, daily looks like they are coming back below the 13 EMA, right? So what we want to see is price closing below the 13 EMA today. Then our bias for the next couple of days will be sells, definitely sells. So for today, since we are right, the 13 EMA is right in between price. Price could also just get choppy, but let's just see H4 supply zone. The only points of interest I would say is the untested zone yesterday. That zone from H1 is this zone here from H4. So price can still retrace up there. I'll be more than happy to take a sell in this area. We also have a fair value gap here. So price can also come and tap into this fair value gap and drop. So that also makes this a point of interest. Then I also have this order block. So what we are saying is anywhere from here anywhere from 31.65 to 33.12. That's a sell zone. If price comes in and gives us anything to use here, any familiar candlesticks either on H4 or H1, that will be a very good setup. So again, I'm noticing that if this is the low and if we can run a fib here, you can see where the 50 level is. That's your equilibrium. It will be right near the 50 EMA. So if price can retrace up, maybe take out this high slightly, get into this area, I think we can get a very good sell setup on C300 today from my view. So I think let's strongly stoke on C3. I'm going to leave it on H1 because it has high potential actually paying us. And we might also have an ID50. So from this high here, price retested, impulsive move, broke structure, breaking some minor zones in there, slightly came below this liquidity actually. Just make this line straight. 43. Okay. So if this is a retracement, price will definitely give us a good entry. So we might get an ID50, like I said. Price might come retest the 50. So anyway, from this supply zone here, we can get a good sell setup. So we'll keep stoking on C300. Then going to B5, we had a setup here yesterday. I was so happy some of the guys caught it. I personally, I didn't trade it, but I saw some of the guys caught it. Perfect entries right in here. Perfect entries. Safe entry was right there. Quick push up. Within the hour, this trade was done. Price came back to the zone. So what am I looking at today? So daily, we're trading below the 13 EMA, which gives me a bearish bias. 4 hour, nice rejection there, also gives me a bearish bias. But I want you to take note that I'm now paying attention to how the TDI is behaving here. I want you to notice that on this level, we had a baseline bounce. So we might get a double baseline bounce for this price to actually start pushing up, right? So they could keep selling, but I want to pay attention to this level. These equal lows here, they might actually give us something for a push up, maybe up into these areas. Even though the higher time frames show us that we are pushing down, you should be in mind we've got a supply zone up here. We've got an order block right here. these are all zones where price haven't tested. So yes, we are bearish, but we could get pushes going up based on what the TDI is showing me. So here price can still push down. Those who are comfortable selling B5 can look for sells, but I'll be looking for buys, meaning my attention will be right on the baseline bounds. I want to see what will happen here. So either price will give equal lows, or they might extend, take out these lows, create a lower low. This will make this a double baseline bounce, and this could be a good push up to actually close the week. So while we're talking about the week, let me just check how the weekly candle is looking. I want to see if the bias is actually in line. So from the weekly, the only thing I notice is the current week candle does not have a wick going to the top side, right? The current weekly candle does not have a wick. That sort of makes me interested in those buys because price might actually expand to the top side, creating a wick for this candle in case it still wants to push down and close bearish. I hope that's making sense. So that gives me a buying bias short term back into the zones which are just marked now. So if we can get good entries or a good pattern on B5, we should actually take those buys because that price could actually be giving a retracement to this impulsive. So from this impulsive move, price wants to come down, but they need to come create a lower high, then continue pushing down. Something like that. For now, that's my trade idea, I would say. So if I can get a buy, I'll be more than happy to execute on it. So what levels do I have? I've got this level here. Price is almost there. I also have this level here. Okay, so for now, where can we buy from? From each one, I would say we can only buy here, but that's too late because if we are buying, we want to catch this move and actually use this as a target, remember? So H1 in terms of buying, I'll say if we can get something here, we need price to give us a reversal here. Then we want to see them trade above the 13 EMA, something like this. Then we want to see them maybe give a retest and a continuation. That's what I would be looking for today for me to actually execute a buy. So I've got these 2 points of interest. This level, which was broken here, price can still come and then push up, or they might come into these equal lows. But either way, I still need a solid pattern and more confirmation. So I'm going to also leave this one on each one, and I'll be actively stoking it. So I think that's it for B5. Then going to B1000. B1000, what happened yesterday is we were active. I think we were active here. Price retrace took us out, but I kept my eye on this level. I was active again here with the buy. Price came, took me out. Then last but not least, they gave a pattern here and I took a scalp buy. So you can see it's more or less the same pattern. Peak, order block, impulsive move, retest. So you could have entered here or here, but stop loss had to be outside this zone. Then price still came back here, then pushed back above. Then they broke this zone. Strongly pushed all the way up. This move is the one I wanted here. But unfortunately, it didn't happen, but it's all good. So looking at it today, what do we have? So from the weekly, I can see we're playing around the 13 EMA, though it looks like we could be bearish. We've got 3 equal highs and we've got TDI creating lower highs, which shows that price could come down, could come down. So weekly is not so clear. The daily is trading below the 13 EMA. So this now gives us bias. But at the same time, what if this is the reversal pattern and this is the order block which needs to be broken? So that makes me very interested on the daily chart, and I would love to mark the high of this candle. So you might be figuring which candle, this particular candle here. So here I'm just saying if this is the lowest low, this is my order block. So for me to buy, I need price to be up here, then I can buy comfortably. So I've just put, there's a line there, you see it when we go to the smaller time frames. Then at the same time, price can still just be bearish because remember we projected the 13 EMA on the daily, so we could continue being bearish. But if we want to buy for now, safe buy is right above this day's high. So let's drop down the time frames, see what we have. All right, H4 looks like price is being delivered to the bottom side. So we had a range, a clean stop hunt just outside the range. Then we got an impulsive move, a nice retracement. Price did another stop hunt just above this level, impulsive move. Price retraces up, bounces off this area, does a small stop and it continues pushing up, rejects this area now. So this price could actually be bearish. So that's the view we have from H4. So remember from the daily just above here, that's where the line is. So 13,980. If price comes and breaks about 13,980, we're going to buy this. And we are going to be targeting prices as high as 14,350 as a take profit. If price comes here and closes above, we are looking for a swing buy. We might have to hold depending with the speed of price, but I think we might actually catch a good push up. But for now, it looks like we are bearish. But at the same time, we want to pay attention to this because they might bounce off here, then start pushing up. So if we can get that, then we can get some early buys going there. But for now, nothing solid, nothing on the buy side. H1 is also trading below the 13 EMA, but I might consider buys if price comes above this level. Why am I saying that? Is because I'm seeing this candle here, which is being left like an order block. So I'm not sure where price will turn. So if they do turn, let's say from here and they respect this level, then I'm saying I can take buys here. Look to take profit at equal highs or actually hold and see if they can come above that daily or H4 zone and we get that long-term buy. That's my view there. So I'm going to leave this on H1 actually so that I just pay attention to price. On this impulsive push up, so let's say, okay, let me remove this. So let's say price actually wants to push up and this is our impulsive push to the top side. It means price is currently in our optimal trade entry zone. If we get any rejection here, and if we can get a pattern on M15, if we can get this on M15, then we'll definitely be taking buys here. So we want to look like at both sides. If price decides to push up, what are we going to do? If they decide to push down, then we won't do anything until we see something we can use. So for now, I'm going to leave it just like this. I'm going to remove this line. I'm going to extend this zone. You see this zone where it's coming from? It's coming from this candle here. So it's just a whole zone here. But sometimes I just like to make it thin so that I can just pay attention to price. So that zone for me is very important because if you notice at this break here, we respected it. Here we stopped, then we broke. So are we going to respect it again and push up? That's the $1,000,000 question. Or are we going to break below and continue pushing down? So this makes this area a point of interest. So we're going to leave B1 on H1 so that we can keep track of price. All right. C3 looks to be doing fine. Okay, I'm just checking it on my phone quickly here. So why am I saying C3? C5. C5 is doing all right. I just realized on our portfolio fund, I actually took the trade on C5. I took it 45.13. I actually took it here. I'll send it in the group just now. I actually took this trade on our portfolio fund and it's moving nicely. It's actually moved a couple of pips. It's actually looking good. I'll send the results just now so that you guys can check it out. I had actually forgot about this. Okay. All right, that's moving all right. Okay, so next is J10. J10 had a sweet setup yesterday. I just saw it when I was backtesting before I slept. I realized they had a sweet setup right there. So if you notice, I'm just going to explain the setup so that you guys can take notes. So the first thing is H1. H1 is your best time frame. You want to check where your trend is. 50 EMA is your best friend in terms of trend overall for the week. So if you're trading below the 50 EMA, you should just know that there's chances that you're actually bearish. So in this example, equal highs here, huge impulsive move here. So I figured out that, okay, after an impulsive move, is price still going down? We're below the 50 EMA. Price came and actually retested, gave another impulsive move, right? Let me just drop to Okay, before I go to M15, what I want you to notice is on H1, we are trading below the 13 EMA. As long as you're below, you're looking to sell. Below, you're looking to sell. Here, you're looking to sell, but this becomes a failed pattern because price comes back above. Again, if you've caught this trade and this trade, or one of these two, or maybe this trade, why would you still be trading at 2 a.m.? Right. So here you wouldn't be on the charts. Right here, another opportunity to sell. We are below the 13 EMA. So an impulsive move, a retracement, if we are near the 13 EMA, we look for a pattern. We just keep it simple like that. So going back to yesterday's setup, I noticed impulsive move, a retracement, nice rejection, another impulsive move. So if you drop to M15, you notice that on this impulsive move here, this was the order block. Price actually came and retested and continued down, right? So from this high to this low, price retraced, rejected in this order block here, a nice reversal candle here. That's an inside bar. I know there is one of our members loves inside bars. That's an inside bar there. People might not know what's an inside bar. If you do not know what an inside bar is, go and watch our candlestick trading Bible. There's a chapter, I think, which talks just on inside bars. If price is coming up like this, an inside bar is just a smaller candle, which is inside this mother bar here. And it happens at a point of interest. So in this example, we had this zone, we also had this order block, and we had an inside bar there. This also looks like it's a hanging man candle, which is usually like this. When price is coming up, you get a candlestick like this at a point of interest. Price will most likely reverse. So that's what happened here. Nice sell, price pushed all the way to TP1. So that was a good setup there, good pattern as well. So looking at it today, it's more or less the same thing. Right now, it looks like we are having an impulsive move. So wherever the price decides to reverse, wherever it decides to reverse, we're going to run a fib. Then we wait for a retracement. Then we are going to take a sell. For now, I would say that's my view. And this candle being left looks like it will be an order block at some point. So we're just going to mark it like this and leave it there. So that's my view on That's my view on J10. Then going to V2501S, bearish, took out liquidity. Looks like we are in a reversal. So we're looking for buy setups. We've got a lower low here. We've got an order block. This is the order block. If we can get a close above this order block, we need a solid close. That will be a safe buy. Right. But again, we also looks like we've got a fair value gap within this gap here. That's an imbalance. So price can retrace into this level before we get a buy. So let's just look for more confirmations now. So when we drop to H1, we notice that H1 is already trading above the 13 EMA. That's bias. We've got a lower low here. Price came up, came to retest something. Impulsive move. This is what's stopping price now. So that retracement, this is the 4-hour fair value gap. So what we want to see now would be price coming and tapping here, then pushing up. Soon as we push up back above the 13 EMA, that's our entry. That's where we buy. TDI will be looking for a potential baseline bounce. That's a potential move. So if we get that confirmation there, that will be a good buy, and we can look for price to come all the way up to this level here. And this will actually be a midweek reversal. This could also be an inverted head and shoulder pattern. So everything you know about trading, you just need to throw it in there based on how price is looking. So for now, that's my bias. I would love to see price come into this area. Then I can look for a potential buy. So again, I'm going to just put a zone here. Let me zoom in. Okay, right there. So that's our V250S. If we can come tap into this, we can get the buy. Remember the buy, it's a retracement on the daily chart. We are retracing back into the 13 EMA. This was our impulsive move. If you run your fib here, if you run your fib from this high to this low, price will most likely retrace at least to 38.2. 38.2 will be in line with the 13 EMA. So that's a buying bias for the current price. So if we can get our pattern here, then we can buy and look to scale out around this area. That's where this whole setup is coming from. So we get a buy bias from a higher time frame, then we drop down to smaller time frames, and we start looking for patterns or anything we can use. So again, if we are on M15, you see this is the point of interest from H4, that imbalance, which is also a zone here. So if price can come and take out these lows, then push up, this will become a failed M for those who want to continue selling. They'll be taken out, and us who are buying will actually cash in on this trade. So for now, I'll say this is my view. But if price does something else, then of course that will be a different setup, and I won't trade it. All right, so going to step, we are rounding up now, going to step index. Pretty simple price action here from this lower low here, baseline bounce. This was an extended low. So remember, an extended low or an extended level plus a baseline bounce plus a BLB equals to high probability setup or high probability trade, whatever you want to call it. Once you see price extending the low and you see a baseline bounce, just know there's high probabilities you get paid. And this was a clean push up. And if you run your fib from here to here, that gives you this entry. If you're not sure about your entry here, you wait for price to break an order block within this day's level. This was yesterday. So we are now above the 13 EMA. That's bias. Once you get your bias, you can buy comfortably. You've got a pin bar there. Another impulsive move. Price comes, retest this once, another scalp buy there, retest again, another buy there. So for now, I can already say I've got a buying bias on step. If I can get a retracement at some point, I'll still be looking for longs. That's my view today on step. So as long as you understand what price is doing or what price has been doing and what it wants to achieve, trading becomes a little bit easier. So from this current impulsive move, the only thing I want to see is a retracement, or we might get a flip zone right here. They might just come tap here. So I want to pay attention to how they will act on the 13 EMA for a potential scalp buy up into this zone. So that's my view for step index. I think that's it for today. Today's session was long. It was long, so I hope you took notes. If our sessions are helpful, please do like, share, comment. C5 is our current running trade. So far, we've got 2 positions. If we can come below this zone, this is where we're going to scale in. But bear in mind that this will be an impulsive move. So we might get a retracement and price will potentially continue going down. So just make sure you manage your trade accordingly. If you reach your target within this impulsive move by the time they get here, make sure you're done with the trade. You're done for the day completely. All right, so whatever you make, don't end up losing it. That's all I want to say as well. All right, I think we've touched on many things now, and if you guys still have questions, just send me the questions on Telegram, then I'll address them. If you've got something else you want us to look at, you can also send on Telegram, then I can try to share my view as well. Apart from that, that's it from me today. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good trading.